Gta5 Act, back with another video. And today, guys, I'm going to be showing you telling you guys all the cars that I've owned and all the cars that I haven't owned. Never in Mikey. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, you go into your internet, and we're gonna go to Legendary. Now, as you can see, let's go right down. Now, if you can see, first is the Allergy RH8. The Allergy, I did this one on the Pimp My Ride, and I actually own two of them. One is one for T Martin, which is a yellow, like orange and it's like an orange and red. And hold up, let me. I want to get to there, but hold on, guys. I'm gonna join another station, and now I'm gonna come with you guys. Wait a minute. Okay, guys, let me just find a new server. Hold on. Okay, sorry guys about that, but what I was saying is that you saw me with the GTR, and here's the GTR that I personally own. This is like T Martin's old GTR, and I really wanted it, so I got this red and nice orange GTR with the race. The race exhaust with the carbon shadow wheels with a spoiler on the back, and then I have one other one, so. But yeah, I can't believe it. Okay. Here's the interior. Has a roll cage in it, and boom. Okay, guys, sorry about that. But here's another GTR. It has, I think, a matte black down the middle with purple rims. sport rims. And if you didn't know, those are high-end rims with like a full extended bumper with the double vented hood with, I believe, a classic black, or it's either matte or classic, with a little spoiler, not like this spoiler, but a little spoiler with a roll cage. Next car that we have, guys, is the Carbon RS. I don't unfortunately own this car. 40,000, but I don't own this car. So it was 40,000. It was in GTA5 Pimp My Ride. Yeah, the Dinka thrusts. I don't currently own this, but was in Pimp My Ride 3. The Hot Knife, I don't currently own it. I want to own it. Probably in a little while I will, or right now, because I want to buy it, but I can't. So yeah, there's this one, and yeah, you can see I don't currently own that. We did it for Pimp My Ride 4. Chameleon, I don't own it. It was in Pimp My Ride 5. The Comet, I do own. I do Comet, so no, I'm gonna drive the black GTR. Oh yeah, with the carbon roof. So I'm gonna go drive over to my Comet, and yeah. Then when I drive over to my Comet, then oh god. So then when I drive over to the Comet, then I can. Ow! You idiot! You pulled out in front of me first. Hold on, guys. As you guys can see, you may be like, where's the Comet? Where's the Comet? Okay, here's my Comet. It's I believe it's a classic black with a pearlescent of hot pink with the big GT spoiler with stock, believe it's like chrome or stock rims with the roll cage in it. And that's like the only Porsche I own. And we did that in Pimp My Rides. Let me see. 6. Yeah, Pimp My Ride 6. Then, let's see. Yeah, the Bravo Banshee topless, 105,000. We did that in Pimp My Ride 7. No, we didn't do that. Banshee, 105,000. I don't own that. And we did in Pimp My Ride 7. The Serrano, don't own. We did in Pimp My Ride 8. Banner Factor, I don't forgot that car, but we did in Pimp My Ride 9, I believe. Yeah, 9. Then the 9F. We did that in Pimp My Ride 10. I don't currently own these two. The Rapid GT. We did in Pimp My Ride 11. Don't currently own it. You got the Corvette Classic or Coquette or Corvette. Don't currently own it. We did in Pimp My Ride 12, which was a sick. You better check that out. Then the Felzer. We did this in Pimp My Ride 13, and I don't currently own it. The Gravel Baller, don't own it. 14. The Voltic, don't currently own it, and it's in, pin my ride, let's see. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that was in 15. Then 16, Pin My Ride 16, got the Alpha, don't currently own it. Pin My Ride 16, got the Enid and the SETI, don't currently own it. The Bullet in 17, I believe. 155, don't have the money, and I don't have it, I don't buy it. The Enos SETI Cabrio, don't own it. Pin My Ride 19, I believe. And yeah. Then the Carbonizaire, I used to own this till I sold it, and then yeah, it's just I want this car back right now. It's nice. Okay, then the Huntley S, don't own it. And that was in Pin My Ride 21. Pin My Ride 22 was the Virgo. I don't currently own it. Pin My Ride 23 was in the Exemplar, and I don't currently own it. Benefactor, I forgot. What was that Benefactor car? Pin My Ride 23, I think, or 24. Pin My Ride, I think, like either 25. We did Chino. I don't currently own it. 26 was the Vaca, right? I currently don't even know. I guess 26. I'll say so. I guess my ride 26 or something. And then did that. Don't currently own it. Then the Jester, I didn't Pin My Ride. So let's go back to where we first started, and let's go over there. Okay. Hold on, Mama, go get us something.
Boss, it's me. Look, this garage space in the building's still available. Honestly, it's amazing. Just take a look on Dynasty 8. See what you think.
Okay, guys. So, you may be like, where's your Jester? Well, here it is.
Boss, it's...
Shut up, assistant. I'm trying to do a video. So, here's the Jester with got a nice front bumper with some tuner wheels. The golden metal paint job, gold, with the big Dinko in. With I think these are overs or races. With tinted windows with the roll cage. No, there's no roll cage in there. So, yeah, no roll cage. Okay, so let's go. So the look. Now you got the baller, which we did. No, I didn't. I quit doing these ones, so no Pin My Ride on these ones. Only regular cars. 28 was a Cena Super Nyman. I don't own it. Misakro, don't own it. Pretty nice car though. I think you should buy it. And that was in 29. Next Pin My Ride, don't feature it. So I'm just say I don't own it. So I don't own this car. Used to. I don't own it now. Rustin, never owned it. The Infernus, I have owned it. Never owned it though. I've owned it, but that was like a way far time ago. So I don't own the 4 GT, the Monroe. One of my favorite Lamborghinis in the game. It's one of my favorite cars. Don't currently own it. I'm featuring on getting this car right here. Then the Turismo R. Don't own it. Used to, but now I don't. Nightshade. Don't own it. The Bestia GTS. Don't own it. Vindicate. I have owned it and then I sold it. BF Raptor. Never owned it. Cheetah. I've owned it, but I sold it because I needed money. Then the Coquette Classic, one of my favorite, One of my favorite, guys? It was like let's see. One of my favorite sports classic cars. Used to own this. I still want to today for my sports classic. And yeah, Casco, used to own it, don't own it now. Corvette Blackfin, used to own it, don't own it. For Lyron, I don't own it, never owned it. Dubachi 770, never owned it. Turismo Classic, wait a minute, right? Have I even ever, Turismo, I've never owned it. Combat Sapphire, never owned it. And plus it's with Doomsday Heist, so how am I going to get money? The Coil Brawler, I have owned it, and then I've sold it. Zentorno, you may saw this in a few videos, or you may not, I have no idea, but probably like a few months ago, and then sold it a few months ago, and I've owned it. Roosevelt, I have owned it, and then never. The Electro, have never owned it. The Entity XF, I've owned it, sold it, because it was too slidey. Windsor, never owned it. Stinger, never owned it. Stinger Topless, never owned it. Cheetah Classic, owned it. And now I don't have it because I sold it. Because, yeah, I was just taking too much space and I don't know. Stinger GT, I have owned this car. If you were playing PS3 back then if you played PS3 back then that was like one of the fastest cars I've owned. Then the Penetrator, never owned it. The Rapid GT Classic, I think, never owned it. The Windsor Drop, never owned it. Furnace Classic, never owned it. Z-Type, owned it before. This was a sick car, guys. I wish I've never sold it because it was so, it's so rare that no one even buys Z-Types no more, and I feel like I'm one of those persons. So, yeah. Sterling GT, I've owned it, now I don't own it. Haikuchu Drag, never owned it. Roosevelt Valor, never owned it. Mamba, never owned it. Torino, never owned it. The Adder, I have it right now. So let's go right to the Bugatti. Has Adder. So let's go right to the Adder, which is in my, I think, 6th apartment. No, not my 6th. I own 6 apartments. You're gonna wish I own 6 apartments. Oh God. Okay. You saw that, guys. Make sure to buy this Jester, guys, because it's fast. This is a fast Jester, I'm not kidding. It's very fast. It's so fast that you'd probably beat your friends if they had like a muscle car in it. Or if they did already, yeah, you probably beat them. If they had a supercharged, oh, probably not. Maybe I turbo. Probably beat them. Okay, so here's the Bugatti. It used to be pink, and now it's it's a blue with pink carbon tires, dark blue, and there's supposed to be a chrome with it, and there ain't. So yeah, that's good. With I think a little matte black. Matte black. Yep. Oh Lord. Okay, now I go. Okay, the Fister 811. Want to own it. I've never owned it though. GP1 never owned it. Tempesta never owned it. Raiden never owned it. Rar never owned it. Wagner, I have owned it. Then I sold it. I don't know why I sold it, but it was a sick car. I could have smoked everybody. It was like one of my fastest supercars. The Reaper, never owned it, but I want to own it. The SCI, never owned it, but I want to own it. The Linux, never owned it. FMJ, never owned it. The Cyclone, want to own it, but I've never owned it. Osiris, which I have right now. If you don't see it, here it is, the gray thing with some chrome SUV tires with a big spoiler with the, I think, a matte lime green on there. Yeah. Oh, dang it, why? Slow riding, if you haven't seen my slow ride, just watch it. Take it easy, I probably failed. What? ETR1, never owned it. T20, want to own it again. I want to own this T20 once again, guys. Hopefully, Santa, can you just please give me a $3 million shark card? Then I will, like, I've never asked for a shark card again. And I'll buy this, and then boom. That'll be all set. Then that'll be it for GTA. No buy cars, except for my ride cars. So T20, want to own this, but I have owned it. Shatiro, never owned it. Visionaire, never owned it. XA21, never owned it. RE7B, owned it. I mean, never owned it, but I want to own it. Tyrus, want to own it, but I've never. And then the Garati X80 Proto, want to own it, but I've never. Now let's go to Benny's. The Bugatti Spectre, never owned it. Tala GTB, never owned it. The FCR 1000, never owned it. Comet owned it right now, and you guys saw it. Nero owned it, but I sold it because I couldn't get the upgrade, and I wanted to get it from my LG. Dabulus, so I have owned Nero. Dabulus, never owned it. LG RH8, owned it. You guys saw it. World Faction, own it. I'm not going to show it, guys, because then I'm going to lose my space. Slam Van, have owned it, but I sold it for some monies. And that was on the car meet video, if you didn't know. Not the first one, back in, like, when I had my faction. I had a faction like this. It was all customized. Let me show you. It was not donk. Like, let me show you. It was like that, and it had a black in it, and it was like that until a friend made me sold it. Then I got mad at him, and then when I showed the faction, I got the Slam Van. The minivan, never owned. Virgo, never owned. I think I have owned it. I don't even know, probably. Tornado, never owned it. Saber Turbo, I've owned it. Sultan, owned it. Banshee, owned it, but now I don't got it. I still got the Saber Turbo and Sultan. Chino, owned it, but I don't have it. Primo, owned it, I don't have it though. Moonbeam, never owned it. Buccaneer, I have it, but I have it. I had a car like that and it didn't work. Voodoo, owned it. I had the Benny's upgrade on it, but I've never showed it. Okay. Now let's go to Southern Dre Super Autos. Okay. So I had the Dominator. I own it right now. Gauntlet, don't own it. Dukes, I own it. Burger Shot Stallion, own it right now. The Ballista Compact, I've never owned it. Sprunk Buffalo, I think I have owned it, but I don't have it. Stallion, I've owned it, but I don't have it. I have this. Rebel, never owned it. Faggio, never owned it. Rat Loader, never owned it. Sanchez, have it, but I have the normal skin. So Blazer, never owned it. Regina, never owned it. The Ingot, never owned it. Primo, I've owned it, but I don't have it. PCJ 600, have it, but I own it. I have it in my garage. Rancher XRO, haven't owned it. Akuma, own it. Picador, never owned it. Vader, never owned it. Stratum, never owned it. Premer, never owned it. Ruffian, I've never owned it. The Stanner, never owned it. BF Surfer. You know what? Let's just skip all these because I've never owned all these cars. Never. Never. Never, 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 never. Never, I've never owned all these cars. I've never. And it starts like. Oh, okay. I didn't. Okay. Okay, let's start from here. Peggy never owned it. The Defliner, never owned it. Yosemite, never owned it. Kuruma Armored, owned it, but I don't own it. Frankenstrange, own it. And if you like, where's the Frankenstrange? Well, here's the Lurcher that I have, my Lurcher. And here's my Frankenstrange right here. If you guys have a chance, guys, buy the Frankenstrange. Buy the Frankenstrange, because it's a pretty nice, sick car for you to relax in and your friends. It's a 4-seater. I can't believe it. It's so fun to play with. It's like ding, 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 ding. My pee-pee's like a flu. Beep, beep, beep. That's like my boy Jeffy in the big yellow suit. Egg. Trophy truck, never owned it. Want to own it. Retro, never owned it. Lurcher, I just showed you it. Desert Raid, never owned it. Omis, never owned it. The Trellis Troops Rally, I want to own it, but I've never owned it. Drift Tampa, never owned it. I don't want to own it. MTL Dune, I want to own it, but I've never owned it. So yeah, that's kind of what Max story is. Let's see, there's some cars in here. I haven't owned all these. Now you may be like, Sheldon 2017 act. What's the best? What's the next? Pit my ride. Okay, guys. $350. This is gonna be on Mikey, but I don't have the money right now, so I'm gonna go get this and stuff, and then yeah. See you all please like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And tell me, guys, if you've seen the rocket go up in space. Because, yeah, I have. So, yeah, see you all in the next video. Peace. Dun, dun, dun.